Hi everyone, it's Bricks on Bricks here for another video, and today we did have some new Ninjago news and some information about the upcoming season that was revealed literally a week ago, and these are kind of my belated thoughts on the news. To be frank, I just didn't really know what I was gonna say. I've actually kind of been thinking about my opinions on this stuff because this is like a description of the entire season. Like, literally. All the twists and turns that might be in the season are kind of spoiled for us at this point. And I don't like that, but from what we have here, I think it's about time that I talk about it. And if you for some reason haven't heard of this news yet, and you don't want to be spoiled, then click off this video right now. But I'm pretty sure most of you guys have probably already heard about this news, so I'll go ahead and talk about it. LEGO Ninjago Season 16 is definitely going to be something special. As we told you in the last Summer Sets article, some familiar enemies are returning and the ninja are getting golden wing suits. We already knew that obviously from the set descriptions and whatnot, which I also haven't covered those. I really haven't covered any news since the set list, and that's only because I really didn't plan to cover any news until we got the images for the sets. But this right here is some pretty big news, so I think I'm going to be covering it. And for several seasons, a mysterious Vengestone buyer has been a constant topic of conversation. Obviously, yeah, ever since 2020, when, the Skull Sorcerer name dropped the Vengestone buyer, he has been a constant topic of conversation. This is the so-called Crystal King. Not that surprising, we all probably knew that the Crystal King was going to be the Vengestone buyer. I'm not really surprised by this, but one thing that's kind of surprising is who is supposed to turn out to be the Overlord. Interesting. Very interesting. Really, I'm trying to think of what I think about this. Because the Overlord is not one of my personal favorite Ninjago villains. I think he's very underdeveloped, and he's had 2 seasons to be the main villain, and I don't think they've made him interesting in either of them. I like the seasons he's in as a whole, but I just think that the Overlord, there's nothing horribly wrong with him, but there's also nothing, extravagant about him either, so I just don't know what I think about him returning. And then the next part here, in the new season, he uses Vengestone, a rock that can inhibit the powers of the ninja. We know that Vengestone has been used in previous seasons, very notably Skybound and Master of the Mountain. It was used quite prominently in both those seasons, and he is going to be using that to forge the weapons of destruction out of the 4 golden weapons. Very interesting, and from some of the leaks we've gotten, it seems that the weapons of destruction will be included in these sets, along with the golden weapons, so that's pretty cool as well. And then to defeat the Overlord, the ninja must use the dragon powers to improve themselves and their vehicles. Ultimately, the 4 ninja, the 4 original ninja, Kai, Jay, Cole, and Zane, merge into one great golden dragon. So, very interesting here. I don't like that they're spoiling how they defeat this is literally how they're going to defeat the Overlord. We know the ending of the season. They're going to merge to become a golden dragon and defeat the Overlord. Like, what the heck? This is just too much. This is a lot of spoilers here. And to be honest, I kind of want to be surprised. At first, I was really excited about all this, but I kind of realized that this is a lot of spoilers here. And in the next paragraph here, we started with, however, the Overlord does not appear alone, and he is joined by the villains Pythor, Harumi, the Skull Mage, which actually is the Skull Sorcerer, Esphira, and Mr. E. And we did not know about Mr. E, so that's a pretty interesting inclusion. Why isn't Nauticon here though? Because Nauticon, out of all these villains, has been set up the most. He's had all those Easter eggs for him to appear. And, the Ninjago creators and some people have kind of said that maybe those were just Easter eggs, that's all they were supposed to be. But the fact that all these villains are returning and he's not here doesn't make sense, because I feel like, why wasn't he here if he's been set up to be here, and all these villains are kind of, I guess Pythor and Harumi, have kind of been slowly set up to appear, in a sense. and the Skull Sorcerer and Asphira, but they were just previous main villains, not really set up to appear again. Mr. E is kind of random as well, and so I just don't understand why out of all these villains, why hasn't Nauticon returned? Doesn't really make sense to me because he was kind of set up to return. And then in the next part it says, but the 5 ninja can also count on allies, because not only will they be accompanied by their Master Wu, Nia will also return as Samurai X. Kind of disappointing. I hope this happens in the second half of the season. I hope Nia returns as Samurai X in the second half, not the first half. Also, notably, people have been saying that Pixel might die, and Nia will replace her as Samurai X. It's a good theory, and I could definitely see it happening. And that's not all. Lord Garmadon, Skylar, Newsboy Nelson, they're all going to join the team. Dang. Alright, first off, I hope that Lord Garmadon doesn't turn into Sensei Garmadon. I hope he doesn't immediately. Maybe closer to the end of the season he will, but I hope he starts out as an anti-hero and kind of works his way up to being an actual hero. I also hope he doesn't go fully bad again, I hope he doesn't become a villain again. I honestly don't think that'll happen though, so I kind of just hope he's an anti-hero for at least the first half of the season. And then Skylar's gonna appear, not that surprising, and so Little Nelson's gonna appear, so that's pretty cool that Little Nelson is going to join the ninja team. Very interesting stuff here. Get ready for the biggest and most epic adventure. You can read where and how often the minifigures are distributed in the individual. Yeah, whatever. Okay, so basically there's also some new set information, but to be honest, I'm not going to cover it. I think that, what's right here is enough. Because I don't think the set information, here's all the set information that's below, but I'm not going to cover it only because I kind of want to talk about my thoughts on these sets when the images are revealed. So, I just have my final thoughts completely only when the images are revealed. I don't want to talk about all these details, but as a whole, what are my thoughts on these plot leaks? Interesting stuff, but it's kind of like I'm reading the entire season. The Overlord is going to return, but then the ninja are going to merge into a dragon and defeat him. That's the season. What? And then the Overlord is going to be accompanied by all these villains that the majority of them have lots of fans behind them, like these ones. And him. Not so much you, though. Not so much Asphira, but... And then these guys are going to join the team. There's going to be no surprises here. And I'm one that hates spoilers all that much, but like... The fact is... I hope that this isn't 100% true. Maybe some of it's true, like maybe the ninja are for sure going to merge into the Great Golden Dragon, but I hope there's either something here they're leaving out, maybe there's more villains that are going to join the team that they haven't listed here. I hope that there's at least some small surprises that are still in store for us when the season airs. And I'm good we don't know. We know the ending, and we know who's going to be involved, but it doesn't seem like that we know the actual plot and how it's going to develop. We know a little bit about that, with the weapons of destruction and stuff, but this is a 30-episode season. I'm sure there's going to be more to it than we previously, than we think right now. But that's about all I have to say for these leaks. To be honest, it's just a lot. And I know these were revealed quite a while ago, but it's just a lot to take in, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, that about does it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for future videos that I upload.